We are live 364 days a year.
What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I've told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan. Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How do you not get sushi after Monday Night Raw?
Good evening from Swansea, wrestling fans. I'm your host, Ben Allison, and you are watching Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, your one-stop shop for professional wrestling insight news and reviews on a daily basis. It's been a little while since I've done that full intro, but I just felt like it today. We have got a stacked show coming up for you guys, and I've got some things to talk about when it comes to Blake Monroe. We're going to be talking about what professional wrestlers look like they could be football or soccer players, as you guys say in the United States. And we're also talking Mr. Iguana and the length of Friday Night SmackDown. How are you today, Clark?
I'm doing well. You nailed the intro, though. That was nothing but net. I got to give you credit there, Ben. That was electric. The Blake Monroe thing and the soccer finger quotes. A little bit more dicey. We'll get into it, though. I'm excited for today's show. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Hump Day, as Fernando Zayas calls it. And he's saying that he hopes SmackDown goes back to 3 hours. I think he means back to 2 hours. But number one Superfly agrees with him as well. And we'll get into that in just a little bit. But before I do, I have to introduce somebody who I'm in a video with for the second time in 2 hours. How are you, Archie?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Ben. Yes, the Wrestling Republic fans are a bit sick of us together so far, but yeah, we've had another video, so make sure to check that out, looking at what wrestlers should stay or leave in WWE. But today looks like an extremely fun show, and it's been a great day here in the UK with the sun beaming down like it doesn't usually do. So yeah, I'm in a good mood. So yeah, let's get into it.
Really good cheap plug there, Arch.
Yeah,
really good.
Fantastic. Check it out after this on the Wrestling Public YouTube channel. Me and Archie are saying who should stay, who should leave, what wrestlers in WWE. We'll make sure to check that out after the show. But before we do, I need to talk about last night's NXT because, of course, Clark and Shard do an amazing job, and Drizzy as well, do an amazing job of breaking down NXT.
It's just me and Drizzy.
On a weekly... Shard wasn't even involved last week. I'm going to be honest. I haven't actually had time to check out this week's episode once. But I will watch it because I watch every single off the air ever. But Drizzy and Clark did a brilliant job, I'm sure, last night about breaking it down. But I'm going to have to go on a rant for a quick second, right? Because I am a big fan of Mariah May. I have literally been watching Mariah May since her days on the UK independent scene, to when she went to Japan, to then when she went to All Elite Wrestling and did fantastic stuff there. But last night was the worst promo I have ever seen her cut. I was genuinely just stunned because she's an amazing promo. But that promo was about 10 lines long. 2 of them were literally stolen off Toni Storm, and another 2 were stolen off Sabrina Carpenter. I get it. If you want your gimmick to be inspired by somebody, that makes sense. But you can't just be ripping off Sabrina Carpenter. You feel more like a parody. You feel cheap. And Toni Storm, it feels like you're just stealing both of their stuff and putting it into a gimmick. And Mariah May, Blake Monroe, she is better than that. She is her own person. And she, like I keep saying, is a phenomenal, absolute phenomenal talent. Great promo, great in ring. And right now, this new gimmick in NXT, it feels cheap, it feels like a parody, and it feels second best to whatever she's trying to copy. I'm not a fan of it in any way, shape, or form, Clark, but I want to get your thoughts.
Finally, a bit of vindication. I've been saying it the whole time. NXT is not necessarily the promised land when you're coming over from AEW. Ask Jade Cargill. Skipped it. No problem, right? Ask Ricky Saints. Ooh, didn't skip it. Name change. He's facing Ashanti the Adonis next week. Ooh. Then you got Mariah May as Blake Monroe. sent through the table. Sent through the table by the renamed Fatal Influence, Fatal whatever you'd like. Ouch. Ouch. Where's Mariah May when you need her? I don't know. She's cosplaying Tony Storm under the name of a relief pitcher for the Reds, Blake Monroe. Someone figured this out for me. I don't get it. I've been talking about it for months. It ain't the promised land. It ain't the promised land you think it is.
Why did Ashanti Adonis have to get just a shot taken at him there?
Sorry, I
just got
saying.
So unnecessary.
That was great. Big old matchup between him and Ricky Saints. Put that on a poster.
Oh gosh, he's gone from wrestling it to having to cope with Ashanti the Adonis. But Archie, I know you disagree with me and Clark on this one. I know you're a big Blake Monroe fan. You're eating it all up. You're
Monroe,
eating
you
up
said
the
it wrong.
parody. Pardon?
Monroe, you said it wrong. You said Monroe.
It's Monroe.
Oh my gosh. No.
But last week you
That's
said
what
it was
they
her
should've done.
nephew. Last week it
Mariah
was her
Monroe.
nephew. Which one is...
Ooh, that might have worked.
No,
that actually would have worked. Mariah Monroe.
That would have
Best
worked.
of both worlds, and they could have used it.
I would have taken that. That's close.
WWE, keep Ben Allison out of the creative writing room.
Don't hire me.
So first of all, we're going to go on a very, very quick rant on Clark, because I've kind of been sitting back and letting you take shots at NXT or AEW wrestlers going to NXT for a couple of weeks now, but I'm going to put a stop to that, right? Apparently we're saying NXT is not the promised land. Nobody's saying NXT is the promised land. Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, Blake Monroe, they're going to WWE to get on a WrestleMania main event, to get on the main roster. NXT, that's a stepping stone for them, and that is completely fine to start in that position. And also, not going to say we're not going to say the grass isn't always greener. Check the TV ratings, maybe. Check the TV ratings when it comes to WWE's developmental brand and AEW. I'm not hating AEW, but I'm just saying, if we're going to hate on NXT, it's getting more viewers than Dynamite is at the minute. So let's just keep that in mind. And for the Blake Monroe segment, look, I'm not going to completely disagree with Ben. I think I do agree in parts. It wasn't the Mariah May that we're used to. But in the same way, I actually saw a lot of the criticism that this segment got. And when I watched it for the first time, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to watch it for a second time. On the second watch, it is for some reason, it's a far more positive watch. And I feel like the comments of Blake Monroe not kind of nailing her delivery in some aspects, I think I was a bit harsh with that, because I was thinking that before. But on the second watch, I think she actually did really well. And yes, there is a lot of Tony Storm references. Yes, there was a lot of Sabrina Carpenter references, and I hope she does go away from that. But then again, it's her first promo in NXT. She's going to want to show some love to the people that inspired her for this character. And I don't see any problem with that. I actually think the segment was good for what it was, because let's not forget, NXT, they did this segment with Ricky Saints. It's actually a really tough segment to do, because there's only so much selling you can do for yourself. And you're basically not promoting any match. You're basically just promoting yourself. And there's only so much you can do when you don't have any tools or don't have any opponents to work with. So I think we're being
But you
very
don't
harsh on
have
Blake
to
Monroe.
copy other
Archie,
people.
you led
It's not
with I had
copying,
to watch it
it's-
twice to like it. You literally led with I had to watch
I'm
it
not
twice
saying
to
I'm
like
not.
it.
Yeah, but I
Like,
lived.
the more I watch, the better it gets.
I also said to Ben, I do agree with him in parts. It
Did
wasn't
you
the
like it
best.
on first watch though?
I thought it was fine. I
Well,
thought it
I
could
don't
have been
know. Is
better.
that's not what you said though?
I could.
You said the second time you watched it, it got better.
Yeah, the second time it got better. The second time
Yeah.
I thought I was too harsh on it.
I thought the
first
same thing
time-
about Cheaper by the Dozen. I have not watched it a third time, but I'm just telling you, like, what? You're like, yeah, no, it
but
was
here's-
pretty
here's-
whack the first time. I found reasons to like it the second.
The second, I only watched it the second time because I wanted to see if these references were as too much as I thought they were. And when I watched it back on
And
the
they
second
were.
time, No, they
It was
weren't.
timeless
they were,
Tony Storm
me,
cosplay.
To me, they
And
felt
then
like
Sabrina
Sabrina
Carpenter.
Carpenter.
Have
No,
you
it's
ever
a double
tried
whammy.
this one?
Yeah. She made a peanut butter. She made a peanut butter and Steely
she's-
jelly sandwich.
she's just showing some love to what helped her get here in the first
Oh, it was to
place.
honor
And-
them. I didn't think of it.
I
that
didn't
way.
realize Sabrina Carpenter got her the job.
Oh no,
No,
I
you
was.
say she
I didn't
got her
realize
the
she was
job.
just honoring other wrestlers, and that makes perfect
look,
sense.
oh,
Arch.
here we go. Like, look at the video package. We
I
can
should
all
have thought of it
tell
that way.
This is very much linked to Sabrina Carpenter, right? And then,
But it's
Tony
just a
Storm-
rip-off. It's a
So you're not
parody
even
and a cheap
denying it.
parody.
Rip-off. It's not.
If you're going to
rip-off,
do a
like-
parody, it has to be a comedy gimmick. And she's not a comedy gimmick. She's better
It's
than a
been-
comedy gimmick.
It's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Just give it time. Just give it.
She did just
time.
get
It was
absolutely
one. It was
Torched by a back elbow from JC Jane, though.
Yeah,
That
and
the
she was
one.
Really
giving some,
brutal.
and she was giving some crazy stiff elbows to Fallon Henley as well.
And Fallon was bringing the heat too.
Yeah, but I'm just, yes, she's, and that's another thing, right? As a
No,
baby
she's just average again.
She's much better as a heel. She's much
Remember when
better
she
as a
was at the
heel,
top
right?
of the card in that other promotion that you remember the
Yeah,
ratings
in
you
that,
brought
in
up
that,
and
in that,
everything?
in that, in that
She used to be at the top of the
transitional
card.
title
Now
reign,
she's more
Yeah,
towards
other-
the middle.
Yeah, what was your favorite part of Mariah May's title reign, Clark, other than the Tony Storm stuff?
The fact that she carried the
Ah.
women's division
You've done him
for an
there.
entire year.
Carried the women's division.
For an entire
I'll tell
year
you what, the
with
Mina
title
Shirakawa feud.
over her shoulder.
The Mina Shirakawa feud that wasn't
Doesn't
even
matter.
blown
The
off on a
series
pay-per-view.
was amazing.
It wasn't
Oh,
even blown
what
off on a
doesn't matter.
pay-per-view.
Oh no, that was good. I didn't mind what
Are
they
we
did there.
not? Are we not giving timeless Tony Storm credit for how the
I'm
success?
no,
Willow
we-
match
we are-
too,
we-
actually. That
we've
was a
got to
fun
give
shot.
Timeless Tony Storm credit, but
Mercedes?
that's what Mariah May was doing in her promo on NXT. She was saying thank you to Tony Storm for helping her get to the big leagues.
Well,
By stealing from her. Like, I'm not
wasn't
being funny.
stealing.
She's talented enough, Mariah
Tony
May, to
Storm
not have
literally
to
liked
steal
that
everybody
reel.
else's stick.
this was Diet Tony Storm.
She's not stealing anyone else's stick. This has been 3
It's
weeks.
Diet Tony Storm.
I'm
Tony
begging
Storm
to-
Light.
I'm telling you, in a few months' time,
Bootleg
we're gonna
DVD
get
says so.
Yes.
in a few months. In a few months' time, we're gonna come back to this daily, and you're all laughing at me now, but not to sound like Nigel Farage, you won't be
I'll laugh at
laughing
you then
so.
too. But
No, I
can't
think the
wait.
future's really bright for her. I really do. But I am just saying last night was a really bad promo. And
It was
she has to
horrifying.
Can we
realize
talk about the
she has to
presentation?
just.
Can
No,
we
we
talk
talked about the presentation last week. The theme was great.
No,
Can I
but
say
at the
something
end-
Last
really
week was a bad
important?
promo.
As a guy that covered the show last night with Drizzy, and Drizzy can attest to this. I know he's busy at work right now, but he can attest to this later. Both of us said the exact same thing when the show ended. That was the final segment. Oh wait, we're out of time. We had lost track of time. The match before it, we're like, oh, perfect end of the show. They did the Blake Monroe thing, and we're like, that was it. That's
I don't
how
know,
we
but is that-
started off the air last night.
The last line of an NXT TV show in 2025 was, "Have you ever tried this one?"
Yeah.
What are we doing here, in the words of Clark?
Thank
No,
you.
hang on. The Sabrina Carpenter stuff, that was just a little hint, a little reference, right? How many WWE fans are actually gone and watched Timeless Tony Storm? Right?
Oh, stop
be
it.
real.
Stop it.
No,
It won't.
no,
Stop
because
it.
Mariah's
Oh, yeah, your
stolen the
bias
entire
is
gimmick.
showing. Your bias is showing.
I'm not biased, right? I'm not biased. I love AEW. I'm a sicko, Tony Khan.
Yeah, you don't
No.
know even anything about Tony Storm because you don't even realize how many lines were stolen.
Honestly,
Half of the
Wasn't
promo.
gimmick
count.
thief.
But it was not a gimmick thief. I think we're being totally harsh on Blake Monroe.
Well, it is.
Not-
This
not-
entire
not to-
gimmick
not to
is
sound like
Sabrina
I'm not an-
Carpenter and
I'm-
Tony Storm.
I'm not an AEW hater, but I can't be sitting here, Clark, saying NXT is not the promised land when it's
not.
It's on the same level as Dynamite at the minute. When you take
No, we missed Shoddy too. Sorry, the comments are having to talk about the last night's show too. I didn't. mean
Fernando
to-
was just praising you guys. That's not
I
having
know,
a go
but
at Shard.
Shoddy-
That's just
Shoddy
praising
was-
them too.
But Shoddy,
Don't take it
Shoddy-
that way, Shard.
We need the big three. Everyone knows that.
Anyway, we
You
got a
get
few
me on there as
comments
well.
here. Firstly, Shard
Shoddy
is
was doing the
saying,
best job in the world being a dad. Monster shout out.
yes, Shard is saying that Mercedes was want to carry the AW Women's Division. And I do actually agree during that time, it felt like Mercedes was being presented as a bigger deal than Mariah May. I almost said Mariah Monroe again. It works. It actually works.
Mariah May.
Somebody in the comments said it does too.
I've got to be honest. Blake Monroe, she wasn't going to be someone that's going to pin Toni Storm or Mercedes Moné. It's going to be very rare you're going to get women's wrestlers that are going to be pinning either one of those two. They literally pitted against each other at All In this year. So she made the right decision moving to WWE. I think it's been a great start. Could the segment have been better? Yes, but you're being too harsh.
Yeah, I think Blake Monroe is one of the best lefty specialists in all of Major League Baseball out of the bullpen. No doubt. Valuable to any roster that they're on.
Around the Ballpark says, with Roxanne, Julia, and Stephanie now, there's no need to rush her onto the main roster. I completely agree with that point, by the way.
The baseball podcast guy.
Did you even see that?
That was incredible.
I'm
sorry.
I didn't even notice
lost
that.
my mind. That's amazing. Shout out Around the Ballpark podcast. That's amazing.
But I completely agree with you. I think NXT is actually the move. I think she's going to do well in NXT. I'm a big Blake Monroe, Mariah Monroe fan, right? But the fact is, last night's promo it made her feel cheap when she is anything but. She is one of the best young talents in this entire industry, and she deserves better than that.
Okay, on behalf of Wrestling Republic, I just want to apologize, Blake Monroe, because we've been given too much criticism over the past few
months.
I gave her tons of praise last week. So
I feel
like
terrible for Mariah May. I will not
of
apologize to Blake Monroe. I won't even accept it.
But Clark, have you ever tried this one? Next topic, end of the show. I know. We need to talk about another show, and that is SmackDown. Because where is the siren? I've got the siren.
Oh, that's
we have a dirt sheet report, guys. And that dirt sheet report is by PW Insider, and that is that SmackDown will be returning to 2 hours starting July 4th. But this does seem quite reliable, considering Variety reported yesterday that USA are going to be having a new series started, a new drama, I believe, called The Rainmaker, starting every Friday at 10 p.m. EST, which, of course, right now is the 3rd hour of SmackDown. So it does seem like, Clark, we are finally going back to 2 hours of SmackDown, and I want to get your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, 2 hours, it makes more sense. We've complained a little bit. I hate to complain about the 3 hour aspects, just because it's like, look, it is nice to have extra wrestling. Like that doesn't hurt anybody when it comes to, like extra program. We're all fans here, right? At the end of the day. For me, here's the thing. I get it. July 4th, though, pyro budget's got to be off the charts. You saved an hour. If we don't get fireworks every single match on July 4th being the starting date, I don't know what we're doing here, right? It is the 4th of July. So we better see all the pyro. We saved an hour of production money. Let's use it for pyrotechnics on July 4th, Ben. That's where my brain's at when it comes to this topic.
A smart take, and you said you won't complain. Well, I will for you, Clark. I mean, 3 hours on a Friday night was ridiculous. That Friday night, you were contending with people making plans, right?
I like that Saturday morning recorded. I hate to say that. I just
yeah, but that doesn't help
consumed
them
it differently than most people.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm not gonna lie, I will say this as well, just from, doing wrestling content, Wrestling Republic. The actual engagement we've had on SmackDown and stuff in comparison to Raw since SmackDown has gone to 3 hours has changed dramatically. Like, we're getting way less interaction on that compared to way more on Raw than we've ever had before. So I am happy that it's going back to 2 hours, and so is Around the Ballpark, but says that obviously with commercials, maybe 2 hours isn't enough. I mean, USA Network isn't too bad with commercials, if we're being honest.
Friday night primetime, though, you do get more commercials than you do different time slots than that, which is interesting, right?
They haven't done so far since
it hasn't been terrible. It's not Saturday night's main event. Don't get me wrong, Ben.
Yeah.
But my point is, it is quite a few commercials. It's different than the way you're going to consume Raw on Netflix now with the streaming. That's become an advantage. especially now that we've had the litmus test over the last 6 months. It's become an advantage for Monday Night Raw. Yes,
Yeah.
the commercials exist, but they're shorter.
Are they?
Yeah, you're only getting like 2 60-seconders as opposed to 5 minutes.
No, I'm correct me if I'm wrong, somebody. I am 99.8% sure they're both 3 minutes.
It's possible, but I'm pretty confident that on network it's longer between breaks.
I
Even
have
if it's
no idea.
total ad time. The difference is the cut-ins and cut-outs, not necessarily the length of ads. Does that make sense?
I don't know. I feel like they're the same, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this. See? Soul, thank you.
No. I know for a fact SmackDown's 3 minutes. But
it
the
could be to
question is
5.
what Netflix is. No, it's never been 5. It's always been 3 on SmackDown.
Well, Saturday Night's Main Event's
SmackDown,
5.
Yeah.
No, it's not. They're also 3. It's just they do more 3 minutes.
You're wrong.
It really is. Really is. I know it because in the UK we don't have them. So they
You almost
just
just made me say the F word. Stop
counting
arguing
down from
about this.
3 counting down from 3 minutes. That's how I know. It shows us each time how long we're in ads for.
Whatever.
It's got a little timer in the
that's because
corner.
you guys get the stupid. You're in Europe, so you don't get good ads.
No, we don't have to have ads. We just watch it. We're anti
Well, we do for SmackDown.
Right. Depends. They're starting
It's
now
'cause you
doing
guys
it
have the
more.
Oh
big
no,
fish
not during the matches, like during.
Yeah,
the,
but between we
Yeah.
get
You guys have the real
we'll be
money in the
back.
bank. That's
Can I-
why you guys
can
don't
I-
have to get
Can
ads.
I just say,
Yeah.
Fernando Zayas, this is the second time you've made this mistake. NXT is not more successful than Dynamite. Come on, Geordie.
Oh yeah, that is our
Geordie. I'm
totally
not-
different British guy. But also his birthday is July 4th, so happy birthday early.
Oh,
Yeah, no, that's
yeah.
Archie, not Jordy.
Yes, I'm Archie. No, I think
Two
he
different
knows that.
guys.
I feel like he's just playing with me at this point.
Jordy's
He
like,
said
I
that
can't even
tall.
find the comment.
You saw him stand next to each other. Jordy's
Yes,
tall.
Is
again.
Blake
He
Monroe
it
paying
must,
you, Jordy?
Must be a bit. It must be a bit. He's done that before.
You are Jordy now. Honestly, I might start calling you Jordy now. He's Mr. in the
I gotta
Bank.
shave.
So.
I gotta shave the mustache.
I've got
I
it.
gotta
There's a
shave
new
the
Jordy. Yeah, it's the mustache for sure. That's what's doing it.
Oh my gosh. But anyway,
I love
guys.
this. Fernando is the man. Yes.
Oh,
Love you,
what-
Fernando.
you
No
are
doubt.
being
No.
serious.
Good friend of the show. Fernando's the best. Thank you,
Yeah,
man.
Shout out
Awesome.
Fernando,
No
but
doubt
also
about it.
shout out to Wrestling Republic Undercard, because if you guys are not subscribed, then make sure to go and subscribe. It's our second channel, exclusive videos. We have the latest Grappling for Position episode coming out over on there tomorrow, so make sure to check that out. Plus sold separately on Friday, plus clips, plus exclusive real content as well. Make sure you subscribe. Some fantastic stuff over there. Also, subscribe to Allison Analysis while you are at it, and make sure to download the Etsy app, where the likes of Clark and you and Wrestling Takes go on there every week, and you can argue with them about your wrestling opinions, about their wrestling opinions. It's free to download, and you can get it on the App Store or Google Play Store. Up next, let's talk a little bit about everybody's favorite lizard wrestler, and that is Mr. Iguana, because he has become an absolute sensation. And I'm going to be honest, in typical fashion, this always happens. My document is closed right before this happened, so I don't have the exact figure, but I believe, if memory serves right, we recently did a fan poll here at Wrestling Republic asking fans if they want to see Mr. Iguana on the main roster. And I believe 73%, I'll correct the figure in a second if I'm wrong, said they want to see it. Archie, I can see what you're doing there. Archie, what is your thoughts on this? Do you want to see Mr. Iguana on the main roster?
I would love to see Mr. Iguana on the main roster. One of the best parts about wrestling in 2025 so far has been the surge in popularity in Mr. Iguana. I just ordered his shirt on WWE Shop. It's an investment, so don't hate me for it. It's an investment. It's going to triple in price. But I would absolutely love to see him on the main roster. I think he'd be a hit. I think the fans would love him, as we've seen on social media, as we've seen on at Worlds Collide. And I've got a bit of a fantasy booking thing here. I'd love to
Ooh.
see Mr. Iguana have a tag team with somebody that's not in WWE, but I would maybe like to see Mr. Iguana have a tag team with the one and only Danhausen. I feel like that would be a very, very cool tag team that WWE can put together, and they could sell a ton of merch with that. I feel like that would just be a chaotic but fun tag team. And you know what? Put the tag titles on them, even though Danhausen's not in WWE, but offer him a contract WWE if he's free, because that tag team needs to happen.
I don't think he's a free agent right now, but
Somebody
if he
mute
is,
this
they
kid.
need
If
to
we
do
get
that.
Iguanahausen, I'll lose my mind. No way.
That'd
We
be
don't need
amazing.
that.
That'd be amazing.
Who bumps? Who bumps?
Shout
of them.
out to
The
Anthony.
Iguana?
Shouts out to Anthony. You messaged me about that, and I was like,
I was
yes,
about to
I'm
say, that
mentioning
is blatantly Anthony's
That's
take, isn't
straight
it?
out of Anthony's
But
playbook. I could
I-
smell it all over you, Archie. Smell it through the microphone.
But I do have a correction to make. It's 68% of fans want Mr. Iguana on the WWE main roster. Fernando says he's the next big thing.
Yes,
Numero
Fernando, my
one
best
says
friend.
Mr. Iguana could almost be like the next hurricane where he gets over thanks to the children. I mean, that would certainly be fun. Around the
Laieska,
Around the
though, is
ballpark
actually
said
who's really
on the
the main
commission.
roster star, though, Ben.
Who's the
That's
real
one
draw?
thing you missed.
Who's the real
Laieska
draw?
is the real draw. That's the doll.
I thought you hate that word.
I didn't even know. Anyway, John's saying, I have no idea what a Mr. Iguana is. He
Oh,
is a
you gotta
triple-
Google
you
him.
got to check him out, John.
Google him.
He is a triple R star, right? Who was on Worlds Collide. And yeah, I
He's very
mean,
proud of
he
his
just
name, John.
instantly, okay, he got us our most liked tweet ever. So I'm already
Imagine
in
if
debt to him.
Steve Irwin, the Crocodile Hunter, was a luchador. And he painted his face like an iguana.
And he had a teddy bear.
Yes,
I've
that's
actually-
Mr. Iguana.
I've actually got a pet tortoise. If he wasn't so afraid of
You
coming
have a
out
pet
of the water.
turtle?
Yeah, pet turtle, yeah.
What
It's
kind?
called
Red-eared
Charlie.
slider?
Hang on a
What?
second. Aren't tortoises and turtles two different things?
Yeah,
Uh,
very different.
turtle-
Tortoises don't need water.
Which is the small,
Turtles
which
do.
is the small one? Which is the small one?
Well, there's different breeds. I used to have red-eared sliders.
Does he live in
Oh,
water?
yes, turtle. It'll be a turtle. The turtle. It's
How
turtle.
old is he?
Oh, I don't know. My brother had.
Does
him
he have
since
red
was
ears?
Younger, so like over 20 years old. No,
Does
he's
he
not
have red ears?
He's green.
I think
It's
he's
a red-eared
tortoise.
slider. That's
No,
the
it's-
breed of
it's
turtle that
not
I
red.
had.
He did not have red ears.
How long
Oh,
do
he doesn't.
turtles live for?
There's no little like red on the side of his head.
No, if he wasn't so afraid of going out of the water, I'd
Just
I'd
pick
get
him
him out,
up,
but-
dude. Come on.
Oh my
Probably-
gosh, they're the
What?
same thing. Turtles and tortoises are the same thing.
No, it's not true. There's a difference. One of them needs more water than the other. There's different breeds of turtles. Trust me. I was a slider owner.
Ben
myself.
reacted to that like Jeff Cobb just.
I had a set of
popped up.
turtles. We had one named
No, they're not
Olive
the
and,
same. You're right.
and one named Ben Hogan. And
Ben
the two
Hogan?
turtles, yeah, after the golfer. And
Does
then,
he live in a
um,
swimming pool?
He lives in a
Oh,
tank.
mine lives
yeah.
in a lake.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a turtle.
Yeah,
It was
it's
a
turtle.
turtle. Either way, it used to be on my brother's, but he can't look after it now. But
It's
yeah.
gotta be a
I
slider.
should have
I know
brought.
it's a
I
slider.
should have brought him out for the Mr. Iguana segment. So I apologize. That was my
Yeah,
bad.
it's a bit of a mistake.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
yeah. Archie, next
Get
time,
off my back,
let's
get
be a
off my
little
back.
bit
It's a
more
bigger
prepared,
whiff
Archie.
than the Mariah May segment. But I mean, yeah, I mean,
Next
Next time, get
Unfortunately,
the
yeah,
turtle
with these-
ready for the camera.
Any negative about Blake Monroe? She supports Arsenal.
Well, that's a perfect transition to our main event segment today because we're talking about what professional wrestlers should be football or soccer players. And you got to give not only a wrestler's name, but also what club they would play for and why. Clark, the guy who doesn't watch football out of all of us, I'm going to send it to you first, just to chuck you in the deep end, just like, which is where turtles live, not tortoises.
Just bear with me.
Born
Just searching it up on
ready
Google.
for this one. First and
Using
foremost,
ChatGPT as we speak.
first and foremost, I'm gonna go with Nikki Bella, former soccer athlete. A lot of
Mhm.
people don't know that.
Didn't
former
know.
soccer player herself, successfully. And for team, I'm going to go Arsenal, Ben, because you know what? I like you, and I think you're a good guy, and Nikki's good. She's one of the more successful footy players to ever enter the squared circle. Speaking of successful footy players, a former NCAA Division I athlete herself, Eva Marie, former collegiate soccer player, until the NCAA caught her for being academically ineligible, which of course cost her the rest of her season.
How can that happen?
I don't even know.
It's called not going to class, Ben. It can happen easier than you think. You just don't go. It's
Oh my god!
there's a simple solution there, but
You're too stupid for it now. You're off the team.
at the end of the day, she can play. So I'm gonna give her, with the red hair and everything, Manchester United.
Mm-hmm.
Up third, I've got Axiom. Not only
Okay.
a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but a former youth player for Real Madrid. So let's put him on the main roster, baby. Come on. Do your research, boys. Don't let the Americans start Googling stuff just to make it fun. And last, but certainly not least, diehard Rangers fan, Drew McIntyre, playing for Rangers, his childhood squad. He's got the Claymore kick. How about being the next Ibrahimovic? Put him in the middle at striker. Let's talk about it. They're about the same size.
Drew
Break it
McIntyre,
down.
the target man. It's not a bad shout. Not a bad shout.
And
Yeah,
that's
I
my
think
squad.
I think
I tried to bring it. I took it
think
seriously.
I think Axiom going to Real Madrid is a great.
Well,
It's
Real
Real Madrid where I'm
Madrid.
from,
go sports.
as opposed to their big rivals, the fake Madrid.
We got a couple of comments here. British, we got Maggie O'Kenna saying British lads talking, citing American knees
I think
and
she meant
ratings.
Nielsen,
really
by the way.
tickles me.
I was the only American on the show. There's an L in Nielsen.
I also didn't mention the ratings. It was Clark, the only
We didn't
American on
say
the
them.
show referenced.
No,
them.
Archie brought up the ratings.
Oh,
I never said
well
it.
Oh,
done,
TV
Archie.
ratings. Oh, that's a very late
Doesn't
comment.
bring his turtle, messes up the TV ratings.
Shoot.
Facts don't lie. Facts don't lie.
Absolute disgrace. I'll do mine next because I'm going to
Oh.
kick things off.
Leaving me last. All right.
I am.
Main
right?
event.
I'll leave you to the main event. Actually, I won't do that. If you know what, you want to go now, Archie. You
Yeah,
go now. You go
You
now.
asked for it.
I'll
You
one up
mid-Carter.
you.
I'm taking over the show now. No, so well, first of all, we're gonna go for somebody that's Chelsea. We're in the market for a left winger at the minute. We need a bit of a line hugger, and I feel like somebody perfect for that could be Vikingo. I feel like he'll be a bit of a tricky winger. Might struggle with the physicality of the Premier League, but I think Vikingo at Chelsea. Maybe give him a call, Todd Bowley. I mean, he's not quite at the age you usually buy players, but I mean, he's he's old. But I'm sure he'll be great. The next is two Australian girls I've gone for because I don't know why so many Australian women's wrestlers are massive from Australia, but Rhea Ripley and Zarya I think could be a great centre back partnership. I think it could be great for the Liverpool women's team because their defense hasn't been too great, but I think they could also do a job in the Man United men's team as well because anyone's better than Delict and Maguire really. Sorry, Chaos, and we've gone for one more. We got to go for the quarterback or the WWE, Cody Rhodes. Arsenal seem to be in the market for a.
Did you just say quarterback? When the
Quarterback.
wild world of sports was
Ars-
that?
Arsenal seem to be in the market for a bleach blonde hair striker at the minute. So you know what? Screw Benjamin Sesko. Just get Cody Rhodes in and give it. As long as you give him the captain's armband, he'll be happy.
They're all the same, though.
They're in the market for a blonde striker. Sorry if you're brunette, dude. It's gonna have to take some hair dye.
Ask Cody Rhodes for his. But
I think the Rhea and Zarya pick is actually great. In fact, I'd actually have them at centre back partnership at Chelsea. So I'm helping you out.
Well, you're gonna have to do a different one.
Serge,
I sent Rhea
players.
Ripley to Liverpool and Zarya to Man United.
Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I know you like to save money, so just get rid of Maguire and Delict, who's taken a load of your wage budget. Bring in Rhea Ripley and Zarya. I'm sure you can pay the wages that they're getting at WWE.
I don't know, Arch. Didn't you hear McIntyre's the next Ibrahimovic?
This is like a free scout. It's like a free scouting session.
We should be getting paid for this.
Yeah, exactly.
Scouting.
Oh my god!
I can get horizontal to finish one off a corner.
Might have to give Sir Jim a call later, but yeah.
Oh gosh! Right, okay, my turn. Firstly, there's always, a wrestler who once in a blue moon does win something. And in this case, I'm going to be talking about Finn Balor because he won the Universal Championship. Tottenham won the Europa League. And then both, did something ridiculously stupid the second they won it. Finn Balor injured himself, and Tottenham, they sacked their manager. And they're never going to win anything again, so screw it. Finn Balor to Tottenham. He's also a Tottenham fan. It works.
More European trophies than Arsenal, though.
Oh, yeah, it's a paper trophy. Second best.
That's what you say when you haven't won one. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, it's a literal. I'd rather not win it and wait to win.
I don't like this anymore. Archie's having too much fun.
That's not what you said in Baku. That's what I'm saying. That's not what Arsenal.
You know what, Archie? It's not your turn anymore.
Up next, I have Manchester City, right? And Manchester City, we all know they're actually really, really talented. It is a great team, really is undeniable. Mm-hmm. But it's a little bit controversial how they got there. Maybe they had a few things handed to them. And I could say the same thing about Mr. Tyclips, Cody Rhodes. So I'm going to send Cody Rhodes to Manchester City for that reason. Up next, I'm going to mention a younger star who is, arguably the best wrestler in the world right now. But the only issue with him is he currently doesn't hold a championship. But I'm certain he will soon. Will Ospreay, and he's going to Arsenal. And then as for Archie, your favourite club, Chelsea FC. Look, the reality is you have won a lot of trophies. You have. I can't deny it. It's happened, right? But you're also overrated and you just spend tons of money on yourself and it just doesn't really make much sense. So I'm giving you Charlotte Flair. But that just brings us to the...
Hang on.
Okay, fair.
No, we're not.
No, actually, I realised as I said it, that was not what I meant. I meant as in, they spent tons of money possibly. That came out wrong.
No, I think
came out wrong. That's not what I meant.
First team.
Sounds like you meant it.
It actually was. And as I was saying, I was like, shoot, that came out wrong.
Two women's
day for Charlotte here going to Chelsea.
Two women.
Honestly, two soccer guys. You guys didn't pick any kickers.
To make
you, to make people that do kicks.
To make you feel better, Charlotte Flair. Chelsea are winning the league next year. We've got Sunderland in the last game of the season. The last time we had Sunderland in the last game of the season, we won it. We won the league. We've had it. We've had them in the last game of the season twice. We're gonna win the league again.
I think our viewers would have more of a chance in knowing what we're on about if we start talking about Clark's local wrestling promotion.
I'm so sorry. That was a mistake. Woof. I really actually thought I was muted there.
What did you say?
I think I said the F word on accident.
Oh, Clark.
I would have drowned it out. No, nobody heard that.
I actually don't think
you
you did. I just heard Sky Sports.
Nobody heard that. Yeah, it was Sky Sports. And this this is better than Sky Sports because it doesn't have Roy Keane babbling on it. It doesn't have Jamie Carragher babbling on it. It doesn't have Gary Neville
I
babbling.
mean, I guess that's the equivalent to what Jim Cornette and Vince
Talk
Russo
about opening a
waffling.
can of worms there. I didn't even know what I was doing. We don't get Sky Sports here.
George
That's not
Markowitz
even-
is in the comments. Shout out to you, Josh. Hope you're having a fantastic day.
Well, he is because
Uh,
he's changed his profile picture, so that's
He is. He's no longer the man. Oh, no, he's changing it back. He's leaning
It's
into
less
the Apple
phones.
gimmick.
Less
Why?
phones.
Because he's an
he-
Apple
he-
salesman.
Oh yeah, he needs a gimmick. To be fair,
No, he's actually
Yeah.
a plant. He's a plant from Apple. It's a big
Is he
conspiracy
actually?
theory. Everyone knows about it.
Mm,
Hook
they
me up
pay
with-
him.
hook me up with an
He's a
iPhone.
Mac
Josh, I
guy.
need a
Oh,
new one.
Davion too. What's up, Davion?
But as always on a Wednesday, this is the end of an eventful show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you to all the comments throughout. Also, numero one Superflies lifted his list. Bron Breaker, Bianca Belair, Omos, and Eva Marie. And Ricky, the one who teamed with Kevin Owens. And fan of the show, apparently.
I'd be worried about the attacker that's getting slide tackles from Bron Breakker. Is what I'd be worried about. Cut you in
Oh,
half.
He's running fast.
Maybe rugby.
Oh, Bron Breakker as a rugby player. That's lethal. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Clark. Thank you, Archie. We will be back same time, same place tomorrow to talk a little bit of AEW.